check it out. All right, I got David Lynn on the line now from Kansas City. How's my friend David doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Ron. How are you?
Well, doing well, but I know you have been busy with 9thHour and with the Nehemiah Fest. I guess, what do we got? One more day for people to, for artists to apply if they want to possibility play this year?
Yeah, we run our submissions for Nehemiah Fest for consideration for about, from April 15th to May 31st is the date, so everybody in is considered. We usually get about, I would say probably 75, 80 submissions, and we're pushing close to that right now.
I was going to ask, is there more this year, do you think, or about the same?
It's about on track. What usually happens is somebody forgets, so everybody that's in before by the 31st, by the deadline, is considered. Everybody else after that is put on a waiting list, and the schedule goes through several iterations before we finalize it. So we'll pick our 50 slots and send out tentative offers, and sometimes people have booked things, or bands have broken up, or they've got a conflict where they can't come or something like that, and that goes on even after we confirm them. So we go back to the pool. We hit those that have been in, got in on time first, and then we go to the waiting pool. And I've seen years where bands that didn't get in on time ended up getting to play in pretty good slots. So.
Oh, very nice. So, now I got a question. When is the prep? I call it the pep rally. When is the Smithville Day that's going to take place this year?
Yes, Christian Family Day. Smithville Christian Family Day is our Nehemiah Fest pep rally, and it's this year it's July 25th. We always shoot for the last Saturday in July, and it runs from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. in downtown Smithville, Missouri, which is just a few minutes north of Kansas City. And we run 12 bands that I picked based on primarily local draws, and their support of Nehemiah Festival. The 12 bands that will be at Christian Family Day are guaranteed a spot at Nehemiah Fest. So if you see them at Christian Family Day, those are the ones I can tell you right now are going to be there for sure. So we have a website set up for that. ChristianFamilyDay.org is the website for that, and then of course we got Facebook and everything going. But no, Nehemiah Fest is coming along pretty good. It's solely a donation-driven, funded event. It's a free admission event. We do have a camping element where that does help offset some of the cost for the park. We rent the entire Smiths Fork Park there by Smithville Lake, and we have about 80 or so RV campsites for rent for the weekend, and there's plenty of room for tent camping and things like that. And you've been there several years yourself. The atmosphere that we have there. We're going to be running the same format as last year as far as the number of stages. We'll have 4 stages this year with our Ezra stage is the one in the center of the campground, which is primarily adult contemporary rock. It's a variation of that. Spirit tent. Spirit stage is a lot of worship music. You'll get some spatterings of other things depending on what's going on. Then our coffee house stage, which is very, very popular. As a songwriter myself, I've always had kind of a soft spot for solo artists that are singer-songwriters that don't get to play at events like this very often. So it is set up primarily for small groups or solo artists that perform with tracks. So you'll see a lot of hip-hop on that stage. You'll see singer-songwriters, acoustic guitars and that kind of thing. We don't put a drum kit on it, but and then our Solomon's Temple stage is the main stage, which will be manned and operated again by our friends Bretta Stone.
Yeah, always a joy to see them every year at Nehemiah Fest.
Yeah.
Now, talk about friends that we see over and over again. Are we going to make any new friends this year? I don't have to give names yet because you're still deciding.
Yeah.
But are we gonna make some new friends as artists this year?
Yeah, I think so. We've, I'm looking through. I've got the submissions up in front of me right now, and there's a lot of the names that I've seen before in the past, and you'll see some of those again. But then there's some other bands that obviously I don't know them because they're not from this area, but there's several of them that really have caught my eye. One guy in particular that's probably going to be there, and you may know him, is Brandon Estelle.
Brandon Estelle. That name's ringing a bell, but I can't think who that is.
Well, you know his dad.
Okay, yes, Lester Estelle.
Lester Estelle Sr., who's playing at Christian Family Day, will be there. And if you are familiar with the Estelle family, you know that there are solid musicians all around. Lester is a phenomenal jazz guitarist that he's played all over the world. He lives right here in the Kansas City area, but he's played with the Gaither Band. He's traveled with Linda Randall and some other artists like that. He's a great guitar player. But his two boys, you may know Lester Jr., who it was the drummer for Pillar, and also he's touring with Kelly Clarkson right now, and he's a session player in Nashville and just a touring drummer. And then his brother, Brandon, used to be the drummer for Super Chick.
Oh, very cool.
Brandon's launched a solo project and is going to be. I see his submission that came in yesterday, actually, or a couple days ago, and he will more than likely be there. Again, he's a local artist, and that's really what we're trying to pull. We know that people that live here, we can't afford to bring in, huge names, so we've kept it somewhat family friendly and financially friendly for us to be able to do this. A lot of these artists are donating their time, and so supporting them by getting a seat in front of the stage when they're playing and buying their merchandise while they're here really helps their ministries out. But there's some other really cool bands out there. I've discovered a couple of hip hop guys that from the local area that I really kind of enjoyed their hearts, at least reading about them, and I've been communicating with a couple of them on some.
I will say last year at Nehemiah Fest, the hip hop song that stood out for me was Transformer. And do you know who that is? See how well you know your music. I actually got the CD here. Let me grab it. It is.
Is it Undergrad? No.
Nope. It is Terrell Watson.
Yeah, Terrell's in here too.
But
Terrell's he applied one day and 13 hours ago. So. All right.
Well, real quick before we move on and talk about next weekend, we got to review those dates one more time. If you're in the area of Smithville, Kansas, July 26th or 27th, I forget.
Well, let's correct you on several fronts there.
Okay.
July 25th.
July 25th, okay.
And it's Smithville, Missouri.
Oh, that's right. Smithville, Missouri. Sorry. And Nehemiah Fest this year is September
18th through the 20th.
I'm going to plead with you guys. If you can go. You will be blessed. I know it's a little ways out, but that's why I got David on the line. I want to tell you, put it on your calendar. Come to Smithville, Missouri.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly event. The whole heart behind that for me, is reconciliation of the body of Christ. The world will know He is real by how we love one another. So people coming together. It's totally volunteer operated. There's nobody making money on this. We're not, we're just covering the bills, and a lot of, what we have left over, we tithe back into other ministries that have helped us along the way, and then, we throw a little bit back for seed money for the following year, or to pay a bill that I might have missed, going through there. But it's not a money making venture, so that's why it's free to get in, and but there's stuff for kids to do. There's you've got creation out there to enjoy. There's a lake right there if you want to fish, boat, whatever. But it's just a lot of fun. And I heard rumor that they may be trying to put together a disc golf tournament. You guys are into Frisbee golf, so they're working on that as well, I believe. So
very nice. Well, we need to get.
Through the 20th.
Well, we need to talk about why I am going to Kansas City next week. And I got my Amtrak tickets, and I am so looking forward to Saturday in the afternoon and in the evening. So you want to tell us what's going on all day in Kansas City next weekend?
Yeah, when we were talking, I don't know if I'm the right guy to talk about this, but I can certainly tell you what's going on. King Cat Music, which is a independent Christian music organization based here in Kansas City, and their website's kingcatmusic.net. The founder and president and CEO or whatever is Connie Whitlock, and it's an independent community of artists here in Kansas City area. We do a lot of things like songwriting and just mentoring of other artists. It's artists helping artists is kind of their tagline. But next weekend on June 6th, Saturday, at the Blue Ridge Baptist Church in Independence, Missouri, which is right here in Kansas City, basically, they will have the KCCM Fan Festival, which is this is the first time that they've done this. From noon to 4, there'll be a day festival there outside, weather permitting, I'm sure. And there'll be 5 or 6 bands. And then following that will be the KCCM Awards that night at 7 p.m. Tickets for this are $5 for the award show, but the day fest is free. Some of the bands you'll see here are bands that you're going to see at Nehemiah Fest too, like Randy Seedorf and Soul Purpose, Bearing Armor, Alex Sons, and 2819 Crew, Project 1516, Alex Haywood, Rachel Armstrong, and yours truly, 9thHour, will be there. And then so that will be all day. There'll be free hot dogs and hamburgers. There'll be games and stuff. All of the booths that are set up by the artists, they've asked us to offer something to the community to be able to just to kind of do some outreach while we're there. And then that evening they'll break for a little bit and then get set for the award show, which starts at 7 p.m. And then there'll be again artists that will be playing there. Again, 9thHour's playing, Randy Seedorf's playing, Alex Sons, Kalana Pence will be there.
And by the way, me and RacManChristianRadio are teamed up, and we are going to be giving away a bunch of CDs to some people out there, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I heard he was coming. But then I'll be handing out the Salt and Light Awards, and these awards are a little bit different than other award shows. It's not. I really appreciate the SALT Awards that they give out because they deal with things that you don't usually attribute to music. Perhaps you'll see things like male vocalist in the group and album and live performance, that kind of stuff. But the SALT Awards deal with the ministry of what we do, so servanthood, faithfulness, mentorship, evangelism. Then they give a Lifetime Achievement Award, and then they have they have a song contest too that goes throughout the year that they'll award the Song of the Year at this event as well. So again, they're kingcatmusic.net if you want to learn more about it. But it's a great time. It's a great organization just to build into each other as artists. I know you have a lot of musicians that listen to you, to your show, because you support them and they're supporting you, and but like when I came down to visit that one time when you had me come down and we did a songwriter workshop, that's the kind of thing that we do here quite often in Kansas City. So just trying to spread that out around the area. I'd love to come back and do that again sometime. I'm
already hoping and planning for a number 2, but I figure we need to get through the summer first. So
yeah, I agree. It's going to be a busy summer for everybody, I'm sure.
Well, David, I thank you so much for filling us in. And again, if you are in the Kansas City area, come join us for the KCCM Award Show, and also in the afternoon for the outreach. It's going to be a great time. And here is David and his buddies, 9th Hour, with He Is Love on KBCU 88.1.
Give him the glory for what he's done. Shake off the dust and start to run. Christian, now get on your way. He's turned your night into the day. For he is love. For he is love. For he is love. Run the race, not for the crown. Let yourself in him be found. You know his kingdom's here to stay, brighter than the light of day. For he is love. For he is love. For he is love. Let's lay aside all the things that hinder us. Let us run without fear. We know that you are near. Yeah. Let him light the way so we may see the path he has for you and me. The light will shine so all can see. Jesus Christ you can receive.